About a month ago, I ripped these old sidewalks out and I replaced them with new sidewalks. And the whole theme of this is you don't have to do everything at once, and you don't have to order a concrete truck. You could just rip them up piece by piece, do it one by one or the whole thing, and then I resurfaced the upper side. So I'm going to show you how I did it. Today we are going to fix these sidewalks. And if you're looking at them, it's concrete. I'm going to give you a speech about concrete. There's rebar. See the rebar in there? I'm going to give you a speech about that. But we're only going to here because a lot of this is tied into the house and you got a bank here. So we're just going to replace 1, 2, 3, and then up there we're going to just put a topping on that. Just use a little grinder if I want to get the rebar out of there. I'm going to do a little speech here on rebar. You see the rebar? It's rotted. What happens is they put rebar in these sidewalks and everything. The water gets them and it rots it and expands. And after it's good for 25, 35, maybe 40 years. After that, it starts breaking all the masonry apart, and I'll explain that later. You're going to ask me how come the rebar comes out without any cement on it when it comes out. That's because when it gets wet, it expands and it cracks the concrete apart. That's why it's always easy to get the rebar out. Rented this jackhammer for half a day, and the guy we rented it from is coming to pick it up. But I just want to show you a few things about jackhammers. Now this is an electric jackhammer, so it's not run by compressed air. All you basically do is plug it in. So you pull it out right here. It comes with two different type of blades. This one was a pointed one. So there's a little groove in there like that. This goes down. And you turn this, it locks in there like that. Plug it in, press the button, there it goes.
I'm here to pick up the jackhammer. Did it work all right?
Yes, it did on us, Mike. Got my line going up from sidewalk to sidewalk. And I'm just putting these little dividers in. Reason I like to use these, formica they call it. I just put it up here. That is going to be my divider. Got some modified gravel in there, tamping it up. Now if you ask me, how do you know how many bags of cement you need? Well, I could do it with the directions on the bottom, but this is the way I like to do it. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 1, 3. I need 12 bags for in here. That's the way I figure it. I borrowed you gotta look at these steps. These steps are 7 3/4 inches. You gotta go 7 3/4 inches there.
Do any gloves there, Ralph?
Okay.
Not doing this. Got it.
when we're doing? 2.5. 2.5. Yeah, it's up there. Want to just use both these up here, Rob? No, just the rib. We'll use that next time. You want to wash the bottom? No.
Yeah, wash it out.
Let's take it over.
Alright. I could get this out by now. I finished pointing this up. I finished this about an hour ago. I got this in here and I'm making sure got all my lines in here and it's flat. So that when I go over it my last time, everything is going to work. That's all I'm doing. It's all flat. Now it's going to dry a little at a time and I'm going to keep watching it. This is starting to dry up here and I'll know when it's ready. See, it's starting to dry up a little bit. Run my paw around it. Still a little wet. I'm just going to wait a little longer for my final finish. Now this is my final run. See, I'm getting a little swirl out of it now. See the swirl. It's a little wet. Better get a little wet too soon and a little dry too late. I put my edges in. That. That. And I'm swirling right over the end of them. See it? Just do this a little bit. Clean it off. Swirl. How it is, just touch it a little bit, just enough to make it swirl. See that? I like the swirl. That's it. I'm done with the whole thing. Finished. I took the forms off and I got a patch up under there and I'm gonna put a concrete resurfacer over that to match everything. Okay. I'm gonna resurface this sidewalk. Gotta wash it all off first. Did a whole video on this resurfacing, so I'll just show you the basics on this one. Mix it up. We got this all mixed up. Squish it around. I put the resurfacer on, and I did a whole video on that. I'll leave that in the description below. And I just got some of this stucco finish coat mix. It's white. Just patching up there against the building. Well, I'm all done. It's still drying. But you can see we replaced 1, 2, 3, and then I resurfaced that. That's still drying too. But the theme was, you don't have to order a concrete truck. If you just want to do one block one day, one block the other day, one block the next day, you can do it. Just make sure your forms are going to even everything out. I'm going to talk about that job a little bit. You don't have to color concrete for all these jobs. You could actually do a piece of a sidewalk at a time. A lot of times I like to use the discrete key and I have everything divided up. It locks itself into each other. I might do this part one day, that part the other day. Right there I had some help, so I did the whole thing at one time. Save a ton of money by not ordering a concrete truck. So don't think you have to all the time. Another thing about rebar. I showed this to how many people I showed this in my videos. It was in a footer poured in 1973. I remember them pouring it, and it rots away. When you put rebar on, it has a timestamp, and the thicker you put it, the more it expands, the more it breaks masonry apart. Rebar is like a new school thing. I think they started it in the 40s or the 50s. You know, World War II, concrete became a real big thing. Sidewalks, you know, the old timers, you don't have to buy fancy tools. This is a wooden one. You can get a 2x4 or 2x6 and put a handle on it, and you could actually do it with that, or you could buy an official float. I have a little affiliate site sometimes. If I do, I'll have it in the description and the tools I use, but the old timers are just make their own tools. So this video, you don't have to order concrete trucks. You could do a piece at a time. And what I always suggest, if you never work with concrete, just make yourself a little form on a piece of plywood, mix the cement, and practice. And see how long it takes for it to dry, how long it takes to get a finish. Once you do it like that a couple times, you can do a little bigger project, and you'll get good at it. So I hope these videos help. I appreciate you watching. Thanks. I'm Mike Haduck, and that's it.
Also, I'm running for school director. You think you could put a sign in the yard?
Yes, I will, honest Mike.
Thank you, sir. Okay, you have a good day.
You too.